Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is City Sticker Chris, and it is that time of the year when the pre-rut is kicking in. We're down to the last week in the PA archery season. Now, there's 6 weeks of archery in PA, and in the 5th week we have a season where you can bow hunt a bear, deer is in, and turkey is also in. So, pretty neat time. So, I chose an area that I wanted to be in specifically because I could shoot any of those 3 species. So, and I look over my left shoulder and a buck comes through a shooting lane, so it's already too late. So I get spun around with my bow thinking that I might get a shot. Didn't happen. He gets in behind me. He's close, but it's not going to happen. There's too much brush between us. So ironically, what comes natural to me is I sat there and I prayed about it. And I said, Lord, you must have something else in mind, something bigger, I hope. So I'm having a little conversation with the Lord here. So, I had confidence that something else was going to happen, something else would come by. First of all, let me tell you, I am hunting a mountainside that is hemlock and laurel. And this mountainside overlooks a river. Okay, so this bottom area is mainly bedding. So I hunt the mountainside. They're going to come uphill, try to make it to the top of the mountain. That's where all the acorns are at. That's a white oak flat. I just saw 4 deer and 1 turkey that day, and I thought, well, this isn't such a bad day. At least I saw some critters. So out of boredom, I'm sitting there with my safety harness on, and I lean forward, and I'm looking down through my stand, and I start dozing off. And every once in a while, I look up, and I check around my surroundings, and then I lean ahead, and I doze off again. But wouldn't you know it, one of the times I doze off, and I open my eyes, I look up, and there is this larger-than-life buck that just pops out of the laurel. He's angling towards me, quartering to me, and he's on his way in. And I'm sitting there, hands in my pockets, half asleep. My bow's hanging on the tree, and there's nothing between us but air. So, what's a guy to do, right? So, I reach as slow as I can. I get the bow. The deer's on his way in. He's so close now. And I get the bow down. I've got 1 chance. I've got 2 trees here in front of me at about 23 yards. And I figure when this deer's head gets behind a tree, I'm going to swing around and shoot this deer. So, long story short, that's what happens, okay? So, this deer ducks in behind a tree, I get swung around, I shoot the deer. Now, the craziest thing happens. I shoot this buck, and he just flinches, and he runs uphill. Not at a fast run, doesn't do a mule kick or anything crazy. He just flinches, and he trots up the hill. So, he gets up there at about 30 yards, and he stops. And he just looks around like, what in the world just happened? And then he decides he's just going to go on his way. So he just walks away. And I'm sitting there thinking, what just happened? Am I going to lose this deer? So I was afraid at that point. So what I do is I wait 20-25 minutes. I get down, I lower all my gear. I'm shaking so bad because I just probably shot the biggest deer that I've ever seen in my life. And I lower my equipment down to the ground. I'm shaking so hard. I just got to get out of the tree because I'm afraid to fall first of all. So I lower it all down. I get down. I leave everything at the base of my tree. I walk over to point of impact and I find my arrow. And it is covered and it is very, very good looking. I retrieve the arrow, look it over. It looks okay. It smells different, but not gut. So I wasn't afraid of gut. So gather my equipment, get out my flashlight. I go to where I last seen him, and I'm falling blood. It's not spraying, so I know it's not a double lung hit. And I'm dropping sheets of toilet paper at last spots. I'm all by myself. So I'm dropping toilet paper. I find a spot. I drop some toilet paper. I get to the end of the blood trail, and I drop some paper, and I look around some more. I cannot find any more blood. So it's getting dark now. I decide time to back up. I've got a long walk ahead of me. I'm on, like I said, the side of this mountain. I'm on a series of tram roads. I'm probably over a mile from my house, or from my vehicle, I'm sorry. Probably a mile from my vehicle. And so I've got a long trek to get back. And like I said, it's already dark. So, now the next morning, it was a hard sleep. And I was up at the crack of dawn, of course, and it was time change that night. So instead of me waking up at my normal 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work type of feeling, I actually woke, it was 3 o'clock because of time change. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm staring at the ceiling, chomping at the bit for it to get light out so I can go retrieve this deer. So what I do is, when I am in this area, no matter what I'm hunting, I always have a weapon. It's a very critical tool to have when you're in this terrain. I darn near got mauled there in spring gobbler from a mother and 3 cubs. That's a whole nother story, but I had a couple run-ins with some bears and spring gobbler in the same area. So I always have my .40 caliber pistol tucked in my chest on an Uncle Mike's. And so, of course, I packed my .40 cal and I go in with my backpack and all my retrieval and my knives and everything that I need for retrieval of the deer. What I did is I went in, I took my walk, I waited for it to start getting daylight. I walked all the way back down over the mountain where I was hunting, found, the area I was at, and lo and behold, I'm walking down the tram road and I hear heavy footfalls in the dirt and leaves and things ahead of me. And I thought, well, maybe I just bumped this deer. Maybe there's another deer in the area and I just bumped it, whatever. I wasn't concerned. I come around the next bend in this tram road and I see something. And all the while I'm walking down this tram road, I'm with binoculars, I'm looking down through the woods looking for a white belly. Not paying attention ahead of me, I'm looking side to side, not looking ahead. So I walk a little further, I see something, so I put binoculars up, look ahead of me. There's my buck. My buck's laying out on the tram road where I walked out last night. So I know it wasn't there the night before when I left it, or I would have tripped over it. I knew something was up right away. I thought something either drugged this deer to that spot, or somebody found my deer and was trying to steal it. That was my first initial thoughts. Well, I get down there. There's my buck, laying there in the middle of a tram road, and to my horror, what I heard running away is, I believe I chased the bear off of my buck. I get down there and I look it over. There's fur torn everywhere off the side of this critter. And the bear did a very great job, as you'll see in the video. Totally gutted that deer. And the butcher said, better than most people that bring him deer. This bear gutted that deer perfect. And actually went around the rear end. Why they do this, I don't know. Went right up the rear end. He chewed that out right up to the H-bone. And then proceeded to take a large chunk out from between the legs. So here's my 2018 buck. Shot him last night, come back this morning and got him. But the old bear got to him instead when I left him overnight. One thing, I don't have to gut the dude. And when I came down and found him, I heard footfalls. May have been still on him. I don't know. The bear may have been still on him eating. But very, very nice buck. Better pictures to come. But I drug him up out of hostile territory, because where I found him and the bear was eating on him, he was in some thick stuff, and I'm kind of watching my back even as I film this, because I'm in bear territory, so I'm trying to watch myself. But very nice, very wide. Good. Little bits of trash here and there. But super buck, I'm super proud. Now I just got to get out of here safely. So, talk with you later. Get you some better pictures in a bit. Okay, now, the area that I was in, let me say, like I told you, very far from the vehicle. Over a side hill, down a mountain. Now, when I find this deer, I am in hostile territory. I have to get out of there. I just bumped a bear off of a deer, and maybe he's ready to defend it. I don't know. So, I'm not afraid to tell you, I was scared. I had my pistol. I was ready to fight. So, I hook a rope on this deer, and he's a biggin. I couldn't drag him but 10 feet by myself. So what I did is put the rope on it around his antlers, got about 8 feet of lead, and all I could do was just keep backing up and jerking, backing up and jerking. I dragged that deer for hundreds of yards that way to get it to safety. I had to get out of this territory. I was in a tight, confined area. I was afraid. Didn't feel like fighting a bear that morning. I got it out of that situation. I drug it all the way up to the top of the mountain where I could get cell service, and I phoned a friend. I phoned a friend that's been a very dear friend of my family for a long time, and he happens to have a 4-wheel drive tractor, and he lives not far, a couple mile away, but takes him over a half hour to reach me through the series of roads and tram roads and logging trails and things that he had to come to get me on. Y'all hear that? That's the cavalry coming. This is how city kids get their deer out. They know rednecks with toys. There it comes. What do you think of that one, old buddy?
Hey, is that bigger than the one that you and Logan I got the photograph of? I think it's more mass.
I would say, yeah, that's bigger mass.
Yeah.
That's bigger than that one I got a few years back. Yep. What do you think? Hold them up there, Jerry. I haven't got any real good pictures of them yet, because I'm by myself. Yeah, he cleaned her out. I don't even have to gut her. They were all up in there pretty good. It got in between the legs a little bit.
Hey,
not too bad though, huh?
That thing ain't hurt a bit.
He ain't hurt hardly at all, huh?
Time you get the hide off that and then let them set up.
Yep.
And
this is point of impact. This is my setup here. This is the tree I'm in. You can see how forested this is back here. It is very thick. And this is point of impact where we're standing. And where did I find that? Where was it? Oh, right here is the hair where the arrow struck the ground, went diagonally through the deer. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm excited. My season started off slow, but it's ending with a bang. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday coming is the opening of bear season, and I'm gonna try to go redeem myself on a bear that tried to take my deer. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, subscribe please, and give me some comments, some thumbs up.